Summer 2021 belongs to my school, our school. I am inside of your school, Pan-African excellence. Hit the Cash App. Let's finish what we started. Hit the Cash App. Let's finish what we started. $ FDMG school. Hit the PayPal. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. Hit the PayPal. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. Send them check of money orders. Send them check of money orders to FDMG Academy. We about to make history. We about to make history. I'm about to put in the application for the first annual Unapologetically African Family First Festival. I'm about to put the application in for the first annual Unapologetically African Family First Festival right here in Wilmington, Delaware, at your school, my school.
So fast forward. When I see this video of Dr. Umar walking through his school yelling, "Hit the Cash App, hit the Cash App," all I can think is, bro, this building looks exactly like that abandoned mansion we used to mess around in. The only difference? Umar's version has lighting. That's it. The abandoned house I grew up breaking into didn't even have working electricity. So yeah, that's one advantage Dr. Umar has over the average abandoned property: LED bulbs. I've been watching this whole Dr. Umar situation for a long time, just quietly observing. At first, I genuinely thought he was a comedian. His speeches, his energy, his theatrics, it all felt like stand-up. But no, he's dead serious. Serious enough to panhandle donations from the black community, promising a dream school that never materializes. And honestly, that's messed up. Not just for the black community, any community of people giving him money is getting scammed. Everyone who bought into his story is throwing money into a pit, and I'm about to show you how. You don't need to be a genius to see the obvious. This school is never opening. It's never going to pass inspection. It's never going to reach compliance. But instead of making assumptions, let's use his own words from interviews, straight from the source. According to him, the school is 80% done. That's his quote. All that's needed now is approval from the city, health, safety, compliance, all that stuff. So let's start with the big question from the interview. When will the school meet the city's compliance? And his answer, ladies and gentlemen, is the beginning of the next chapter in the never-ending saga. This process is going to take another 5 to 10 years minimum. The city is going to drag this building through endless inspections, codes, and requirements. It could easily take a decade. And I promise you, Umar is going to use that timeline as another excuse to keep collecting money. Because let me say it again. This school is never going to be finished.
Mail your check of money orders. And if you want to work at the school, send the resumes, fdmgresumes@gmail.com, fdmgresumes@gmail.com, fdmgresumes, brothers and sisters, @gmail.com. We not playing no more. It's time to get the school done. We not playing no more. It's time to get the school done. We not playing no more. It's time to get the schools done. Support
I don't know what's going on with this guy, but the way he repeats himself over and over with that same intense rhythm, there's something going on there. It's like he's stuck in a mental loop and every sentence has to echo 3 times before his brain can move on. I'm not diagnosing him, but bro repeats himself like someone hit the skip button and it froze. Anyway, I just wanted to show a couple more seconds from that clip, but let's fast forward to something recent, this interview. So Dr. Umar did a super long interview with the Danza Project, and I spent way too much time watching it. And listen, your boy had some outrageous things to say. I'm talking wild claims, conspiracies, the whole world is against me narrative, the kind of energy where he acts like there's a global coalition dedicated to stopping his school from existing. And that's hilarious because we've already talked about all the issues with him trying to open this school, which in my opinion are absolute nonsense. Now, in this interview, he's claiming the city is actively working against him, and that's why the school is taking so long to open. According to him, the city doesn't want this school to succeed, so everything is 10 times harder. And I'm just like, I call BS. Look, are there racial tensions in America? Absolutely. Is racial profiling real? Of course. But this situation right here, this isn't racism. This is a building that's been half renovated for years with no permits, no inspections passed, and no progress. If anything, the city is just doing its basic job and telling him to stop trying to teach kids in a building that looks like a haunted prison. But anyway, let's actually dive into the interview because the stuff he says next really shows how detached this whole situation is from reality.
So I'm just, I'm gonna just put it in the Lord's hands and see. But we knock it on the finish line. So if all goes well, we should be able to apply for the inspection before the end of the year.
And this is something that most people don't understand in general. Just starting a business is tough, right? And then when you're doing something in the community, it's going to be a lot tougher. When you're dealing with that much square footage, they could find something wrong anywhere. Oh, well, in this corner here. But a lot of people that have never started a business, have never.
Anybody who interviews Dr. Umar is forced to play softball. Because if someone actually sits across from him and says, hey man, this sounds like nonsense. Inspections don't take years. You're either prepared or you're not. The city isn't discriminating because you're black. The inspector probably doesn't even know who you are until they show up. That interview would be over instantly. You can't challenge Umar on camera because he'll shut it down without hesitation. And these interviewers need views, they need clicks, they need attention, so every interview you see with him ends up being super safe and friendly because nobody wants to risk their big moment getting cut short. I've seen multiple interviews with Dr. Umar, and there's another one I'll talk about later, and every single one is softball city. Nobody pushes back, nobody questions him, nobody holds him accountable. It's just a bunch of people praising him, hyping him up, and going along with whatever story he tells. For lack of a better term, it's basically everyone riding his hype for views because apparently that's the only way to secure an interview with him. I haven't seen a single conversation where someone challenges him or asks real questions. They all just play along.
Gotten any type of education, what it's like, they have no idea.
Never opened a school, never ran a school, but they're experts in our school. And I don't get into it, but I hear a lot of it because my supporters send me the clips. And I've heard ridiculous things. I heard people say you can get an HVAC for $5,000. That's a $50,000 unit up there, and that was the cheap one. You feel me? This is not a house. This is a school. You're not getting no HVAC for no $5,000. You know what I mean? Every utility that we had repaired, plumbing, HVAC, electric, every one cost us well over $100,000. Nothing was under $100K for repair. So when I hear people say he could have got this done for $5,000, you don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I don't think he knows what he's talking about. Let's keep it real. I'm not a contractor. I'm not the guy buying construction materials. But when he says a couple of HVAC units cost $100,000 each, it just sounds like a stretch. Like, what do you need to be, a multi-millionaire just to start a school? Maybe, but that explanation feels way too convenient. $100,000 per unit. Come on, bro. At this point, I don't even care. It's been a full decade, 10 years. He's been begging the public, begging his audience for money for 10 years straight, and somehow he still can't afford a couple $100,000 to finish this thing? Miss me with that. Get out of here. And then there was that whole, I didn't know the city was gonna repossess the school situation because he allegedly fell behind on bills. Like, bro, please. You expect me to believe you had no idea the building was about to get taken? No way, that story is pure nonsense. He's raised so much money over the years, I wish there was a lifetime tracker of donations just to see the real number, because it's definitely in the multiple millions. A ridiculous amount of money has gone into this project with nothing to show for it. This is his full-time hustle. The same way I get on the mic and this is my 9 to 5, Dr. Umar's 9 to 5 is collecting donations and selling stories. Panhandling and performing, in my humble opinion. Anyway, let's keep going.
But my thing is, if you never did it, why are you speaking on it? And if you're not doing anything for the people, why are you speaking on it? See, that's my thing. I don't think people who don't do work could criticize people who do work. Now, if you're doing the work, you say, look, I built me a relevant institution. You can speak to it because you did it. We're being questioned and criticized by people who do nothing. And that's why I'm so tight-lipped on it, because I'm like, I don't owe you no answers. On top of the fact you never donated. On top of the fact you never drove by there and picked up a piece of trash.
And then I saw this so-called pre-post video or pre-video, whatever the hell he's calling it. And I'm just sitting there thinking, now we're supposed to pick up trash for you? Like, bro, you can afford trash services, right? But apparently you want volunteers to clean up your mess now. The fact that he even mentioned trash pickup tells you everything. This isn't a functioning school. It's an abandoned building with dust, cobwebs, and disappointment stacking up every day. Nothing's happening here. Nothing is going to happen here. And he's furious because trash is piling up around the corner. Bro, if this school project was ever going to be real, it would have happened by now. That's all I can say. He's over here complaining about trash. You know why? He's been spending the money on other things. I promise you that. And now he's saying, "Oh, you never came over and picked up a piece of trash. Why should I give you any information?" What are you even talking about, Dr. Umar? This is your property, not ours. You chose this responsibility. Anyway, let's just keep going.
That you don't support financially, you questioning something that you've never been a part of in your entire life. You've never been a part of anything that progressive as building an institution. So why are you expecting me to be accountable to you?
And so how do you keep it together? Back to that mental health thing, like how do you feel?
I'm going to be honest with you. The haters, the struggle streamers, they really helped toughen me up to the criticism because we've been dealing with it from the first day we took a donation in St. Louis, Missouri, April of 2014, when the St. Paul's College in Virginia went up for sale, because that's what we wanted. We wanted that HBCU, but they wanted $2 million and we couldn't raise it in time, so they sold it to the Asians, who currently have it now. So then that's when we said, well, we just gonna find us a regular school. So from 2014 till 2019, we school hunted. We found FDMG in 2017, but we couldn't afford it at the time. So we just stayed in negotiations.
Bro, come on. 2014 to 2019. 5 years of school hunting? Like, seriously. Maybe some professional school builders out there can tell me how that makes sense, because I haven't seen a single one in the comments yet. Tell me, how does it take 5 years just to find a building? If I'm a millionaire trying to buy a mansion, it's not going to take me half a decade. As a multimillionaire, I'd get it done in a weekend. I'd walk in, say, "Yep, I like this," and move in instantly. Done, right? But 5 years. 5 years because it was convenient for you. Convenient to keep raising more and more and more money from the people who believed in you. That's the only reason it dragged this long. You could have wrapped it up in a year. You already had a structure. You could have started renovations by year 2. Sure, maybe funding wasn't perfect at the time, but 5 years should be the absolute maximum before something real is happening. A decade? A decade is insane. There's no justification. There's just no way, bro. The money, the time, it's absurd. Anyway, let's keep going.
With the owners, and then finally, February 2019, they gave it to us. So 5 years to find a school, which in my opinion, that's not a long time to raise the money and find it. 5 years ain't bad at all. And then you go from 19 to 25, right? So you're looking at 6 years of us renovating. It should have only taken us 2 or 3, but there was a lot of scamming going on with the contractors we were using. We really got done dirty by them. You know what I mean? And I didn't want to use Caucasian work because I wanted to keep the money in the community. The people who gave us the money black, I want to keep the project black. Right. But I had to wake up one day and say, yo, if you're waiting on your people to do this for you, it may not get done. And let me put that in context. You're talking about the second smallest state in the country.
And then he turns around and talks trash about the same black people, the exact community that donated to him in the first place. Let me be real with you, bro. I don't buy a single word of this contractor drama. I don't buy a single word of this contractor drama. All that "they're scamming me" story, nah, I don't believe it. Not one sentence, not one syllable. So now he wants us to believe that all the black contractors are scammers, and he, the hero, had to run to the white man to get it done. Think about the hypocrisy. You're preaching about uplifting black people while simultaneously calling them scammers and saying they can't get the job done. And we're supposed to clap for that? Guys, wake up. Wake the hell up. You know how much money this man has made off you? Off the heads of the people who actually care, who actually donate, who genuinely want this school to exist? He's scamming you. Beautifully. His bank account is looking real healthy right now.
So you don't have much to pull from anyway. And then the city of Wilmington requires that your contractors be licensed in the state and licensed in the city. So for example, in Pennsylvania, if you're licensed by the Commonwealth, you can do work anywhere in the state. You got to be licensed in Delaware and then licensed again in Wilmington. You're already dealing with a small pool of available contractors, and then they add that on top. So I say it all the time. We have the best situation in the worst location. And when I say worst location, I'm simply speaking of the limited pool of resources in terms of contractors.
Yeah, no. You see, he blames black people for everything while trying to play Mr. Pro-Black at the same time. It's pure hypocrisy, calling black contractors pieces of shit while pretending to be diplomatic. Oh, the local pool of contractors. We got shafted. Nah, bro, forget all that. He's putting down the black man just to keep his agenda moving forward. It's simple. If you have a brain, you can see it. It's not really about the contractors. Sure, maybe some issues popped up, but it wasn't catastrophic enough to stall this school for years. I promise you, it wasn't. Here's the truth. Umar knows exactly what he's doing. Once the school actually exists, the money stops. No more endless donations, no more fundraising. The second the school opens, he goes from making money to losing money. Staff, grants. He needs this school to stay profitable, plain and simple. Maintenance, all of it. Bottom line, this school is never getting built. If it does happen, my kid will be 15 by the time they open the doors. It's either that or you already know.
Regulations that are required for you to work on a project there. You know, if that same school was in Detroit, Chicago, Philly, we'd be done already, only because you got so many plumbers, you got so many HVAC, you got so many electric. You could go through 30 of them until you hit the right one. But you in the second smallest state, only a handful of black folks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Contractors that you can really, you know, go to. And everybody we used came highly recommended, by the way. We didn't just grab people. These were people say, get him, get them. We got the people we were told to get. And they still didn't do us right.
But when the pool is so small, and the competition isn't great, it's tough, you know.
And we ran into situations where sometimes, if I don't take the plumber, the electrician say I can't take the job. You feel me? Because that's my man. Right. So since you're not taking him, I can't do it. I'm like, damn. What that got to do with you? I need this. You know what I mean? So it was a lot of that where I like the electrician, don't like the plumber. I like the HVAC guy.
Man, morals don't run that high. Morals just don't. Fuck that. That's a messed up story. And again, this is pure softball. He's lying through his teeth. Oh, the electrician won't come because the HVAC guy isn't hired. Bro, come on. I got 2 kids in a row. My wife wants to go out, but since you're the HVAC guy, I'm not taking the job. My kids will eat oatmeal all week. My wife won't get taken out. Nah. That's never happening. If there's work in your field, you take the job, period. Then he goes, oh yeah, the HVAC and electrician go together. Man, get the fuck out of here with this shit. This shit is ridiculous. This shit pisses me off. Fake ass Martin Luther King wannabe, bro.
Electrician, so you know, it's networks.
Yeah.
You know, and you're dealing with a really small city, and you are outsider coming from Philly. I had to deal with some of that too. You know what I mean? Because even though I get a lot of love in Wilmington and a lot of love across Delaware, you still got them people say, we don't need him here. You know what I mean? We don't need no big city dude coming down here. We can handle our own business. But I'm not here for you. I'm here for the kids. You know what I mean? Because people say, why did you choose Wilmington? And I like Wilmington. I love the energy there. I really do. But people say, why did you choose Wilmington? I didn't choose Wilmington. I chose the school that was in Wilmington. In other words, we wasn't shopping for cities. We shopping for building. And that had the best building that we found. We should have been in Detroit. But once the Archdiocese found out who I was, they wouldn't sell me none of the schools. I knew we was in Detroit. Me and my mother was preparing to move to Detroit. I said, Mom, we going to Detroit. We out. It's going to be cold. She said, I don't care. Let's go. And then the Jewish realtor for the Archdiocese, and I thought that was interesting, that the Archdiocese had a Jew, because if you understand that history, but he said they want to see your curriculum. I said, we buying the school cash money. What you need to see my curriculum for? This ain't no charter school. You follow what I'm saying? This ain't no lease.
Right.
I'm buying and we done. What you want to know what I'm teaching for? I said, you can't get that.
Do they think you're pushing religion? Is it a religious thing? Like, where's the pushback in that city?
I think it's just that they knew who I was and wasn't going to sell. And guess what? Every school in Detroit that we wanted, still sitting there. So that's why I tell people you got to understand that when it comes to white people, they're more about.
Listen, I'll say this and wrap it up because honestly, this is all a crock of. There's so much more I could dig into about this guy, but here's the deal. According to him, the whole world is against us. White folks don't like us, black folks don't like us, Spanish folks, Asian folks, nobody likes us. Why? Because we're doing some big, wonderful thing the world isn't ready for. That's the narrative he keeps selling, and it's a lie. Don't buy it. Sure, some people block you because of status, race, whatever. But Dr. Umar, he keeps blaming the world, saying it's because of black children, because of his race, too conveniently every single time. Coincidences aren't coincidences. One time, maybe. Twice? Fine. But the third? I'm skeptical. He's used this same excuse 15 different times I've seen. Full of... Anyway, folks, love y'all. We're back in the building. PC's back. Let's see how long it lasts. Stay safe, stay inside, and I'll see you soon. Peace.